Alright guys, what's up? How are we doing? Uh, I am going to be continuing today painting these bear trap coasters for my friends. Last time we painted this kind of copper looking one. I got some problems with how it turned out. I might come back to it at the end and kind of try and touch it up a little bit with what I learned over the painting the rest of these. But for my first time painting in quite a while, first time painting anything like this, I'm pretty happy with it. So now we're going to paint the next one, which is going to be for our druid. So I'm gonna try and make it more like wooden, maybe with some green accents again for leaves and nature looking. Now the primer on this one, I kind of missed a spot over here. You can kind of see it on camera where it's a little bit more gray and white, but I think it'll be fine. In all, I kind of don't know what I'm going to be doing with these, or with this one, but I feel like just going with wood and nature looking is good enough. And then I also have a nice little lemon coke. So we're gonna kind of take it easy today, relax a little bit, and paint some coasters. Alright, so let's get started. I think something that I learned while painting this one is that I might want to kind of cover this in the green, which is I want to be the accent first, and that way whatever spots excuse me, whatever spots I miss, it's not shown through white. Like over here where it's kind of thin, it's like there's a little bit of white coming through. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but I think having that be more specks of green would be cool. So I'm going to try and paint this all green first. And actually another thing I learned while or after painting this one last time is that the mechanism that kind of closes the bear trap has a little bit of a hard time fitting together, so maybe you might be able to see on the underside. I kind of have to fiddle around with it to get it to kind of get in, and once it is in, it kind of sticks a little bit where it's supposed to be more, you put your glass on it and it closes. But let me show you with my glass actually, where you put it on and it doesn't really close, and it's supposed to close. Maybe one of these will close pretty easily. I don't know if it's the primer layer. Yeah, this closes a little easier, so we'll try it with this. So you put the glass in, and it immediately triggers and kind of closes in on itself. So we might have to try and be a little bit thinner on that layer. We might have to just sand it down after the fact. We'll see. But I think it should be fine. And I'm going to do something similar with this, or that I did on this one, where I'm going to have the center plate be kind of trying to be more of a just straight brown bark color. Sorry, I keep looking over here because that's where my OBS is. You guys are over here. I need to keep looking over here. I'm going to try and have this be full bark, and then this is going to have the green accents on it. Also, the chain on this one broke, so it's a little bit shorter. I also have some that broke right here, so there isn't really any chain. There's a connection for a chain. But I think that's fine. I don't think the chain matters too much. Yeah, so let's get started. For this screen, I want it to be a bit brighter. I think I'm going to use this pale green. I think it'll look pretty nice. And I might need to plug my laptop in because it is going to keep turning off. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Alright. I just have my laptop off to the side over here to read chat. And then I have OBS here on my desktop. So I got 2 different computers around me for what you need half a computer to really do. Okay. I think I'm going to use this brush again to get the first layer of green on, and then I'll come back with maybe this brush to get the accents after I finish painting. But let's see, I'm going to start with just a nice little dollop, and this should be a little easier because I'm using a straight color and kind of trying to mix it so it's not spreading out as much, so it might not dry as quickly, which should be helpful. And let's back up so this doesn't dry out, because that would be unfortunate. Put that out of the way for now, and we'll just start painting. So, how have you guys all been? It's been a bit of a long week for me. I've been editing a lot of videos. I got one coming out on Sunday, not for me, for one of my clients. And I had another one come out yesterday. And that one is doing pretty well, so pretty happy with that. I did make a bit of a mistake on it, and there's a little bit that says new text layer, just randomly in the video because I messed up, but luckily the client didn't seem too upset about it. He thought it was kind of funny and bullied me for it a little bit, but you know, it all works out. And then the other one is, that one was a TikTok React video, so it's not too difficult. And then the other one is a little bit of a vlog, and that was how my client's Christmas went. So it's a little bit late because it's halfway through January, but that's alright. Better late than never, you know? But that one's gonna be fun. Hey Kane, digesting food, what are you eating? Anything good? Anything I would steal from you? I've also had some burgers using Jarambe's meat mix. Oh yeah, we were talking about that in Weezy's stream. Nice. I am yet to try making anything with Jarambe's meat mix because I lost it as soon as I moved. And it is somewhere in the house now that I need to go find. But not quite sure where. but I'll find it. I spent a lot of time this week working on D&D stuff, both for the Eberron campaign and also for my friend's group. So I was making some little spell cards for our wizard and druid that I think look pretty nice. Yeah, I have some not really cardstock, but somewhere in between cardstock and printer paper that I printed them all out on, and I cut them up. So they're nothing fancy, but they're nice and not professional looking, but nice enough for our little campaign. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, it's still something. So that was fun to get those all done. I need to get a couple more for our druid because they apparently get a giant spell pool and then just prepare certain ones, which is a little complicated, so I don't know if I'll be printing out all of their spell cards, but our wizard, at least, the spells he learns, I've printed out all of them. And then, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I got, I was looking into some ranger stuff, and I was talking with our artificer, and my character is a Drake Warden ranger, so I have a little pet dragon. Not quite a dragon, it's technically a drake, but I have a little pet dragon, so I'm working with our artificer to potentially create Pokeballs for me to summon my drake out of, so that it's not like roaming around and scaring people, because there is technically a way to do that. So our plan right now, and I did steal this from a TikTok, I've been on a lot of D&D TikTok lately, but our plan is our artificer is going to make a like a spherical cage, and then our wizard is going to enchant it with a couple glyphs of warding with the enlarge/reduce spell, with like kind of, I guess, triggered by a button press or something on the cage, which is going to make it so that I can shrink the dragon down a little bit, put him in my pocket, and have a Pokeball for my dragon. Alternatively, we could just get a little trinket that lets us do that automatically from our DM. But I think that is less rewarding than kind of bending the rules to make it yourselves. Oh yeah, it's a ton of fun. Just like looking through all the broken ways to make the spells work together and all the classes work together. But I did steal basically all of that from TikTok, like I said. So that one's not that's not all my doing. But I think working it into our campaign is going to be pretty fun. Yeah, it's no biggie. Theft of intellectual property is fun. Not a biggie. But I'm looking forward to our next session. Unfortunately, one of our players is in Vegas right now. It's our druid, actually. and they're not getting back until basically the rest of the party is going to be back at college, because I am a child and all of my friends are still in college. But we're going to try and work it out online with Roll20. So we're looking forward to that. And because of the Eberron campaign, I have learned so much about Roll20, so I am going to be helping our DM get all of that set up. And we should have some pretty fun campaigns. Or pretty fun sessions? Yeah. There's also a new D&D class that just came out, I think. I think it's still in the testing phase. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But it uses psionics instead of like magic. Let me see if I can find it. Classes. Yeah, it's called Mystic. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, let's see. As a student of psionics, you can master new psionic talents and disciplines. So it seems like somewhere in between a monk and a spellcaster, which is really cool. Monks, by the way, are dexterity fighters that use key points, spelled K-I. So it'll be interesting to see how that class evolves, because it's so new. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to be too familiar with all of that stuff, D&D. Really, the only person who needs to know that kind of stuff is the DM, and even then, not really. Most of that stuff you just make up on the fly and then rule check it later. And then you're like, well, hey guys, I made a mistake. We're going to be doing this from now on. And then your party complains because you're changing the rules, and you're like, oh well, I don't care. We're doing it this way anyway. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that class. I'm more interested to see what happens in our next D&D session now. I still need to figure out next Eberron campaign timing. I gotta talk with our players about that. Kane and Fluffle, you guys are in YouTube and Twitch chats. So I gotta figure out that stuff, but I got some high hopes. I got some cool stuff planned for the next session. We do have 2 dead player characters, which is going to be interesting. But I think I have a pretty cool way to figure all of that out. Yeah, Milky, for those of you who don't know, Milky unfortunately said he'd have to drop out of the campaign for a little bit. And if he comes back, it won't be for a bit until he gets his stuff more figured out, like his stream. He wants to get back streaming on weekends. I don't think he's been able to for a little bit because he's been so busy because he's moving and all of that. And figuring out moving is a pain in the ass, especially when you're not just moving in with family who doesn't do like credit checks and all that crap. But you know, it's life. Yeah, life happens, exactly. But if he does come back, we'll love to have him back, of course. And if he doesn't, that's okay. It's a big ask to have people take out that much time from their life for like for basically my stream, which I do try and make it more than just my stream. I try and make it fun for all the players as well. But at the end of the day, it is content for me that the players don't really get to use too much. At least if they asked to, they probably could, but or like we'd figure something out. But at the end of the day, it's still my content and not his. So I understand that he wants to focus on his stuff. It's completely fair and makes sense. Especially because it's been so long since I think his last stream as well. I don't remember exactly how long, but I know that he's been really busy. At the very least, I think it's been all of Wheezy's subathon, maybe. And maybe longer. I'm not too sure about that. It's been pretty long. Or we just had a pretty long subathon. I think it's, what, 23, 24-ish days now? "26 days? Jesus Christ. Almost a month. So yeah, it's been a bit. I do have some cool story things happening in the next Eberron episode, so stay tuned for that. I'll probably make a post on Twitter when we figure out the next time. But I know that the next little bit is going to be a little complicated to plan it. Especially for me, I have a lot of things changing scheduling wise right now, so might not be for another few weeks. These painting streams have kind of been a little impromptu, just because this is when I happen to have time, so scheduling. Oh, thank you, Stream Elements, for telling me that I'm now live. But these painting streams have kind of been, yeah, I have time today, so planning that around 4 other people is going to be a little complicated. Alright, sounds good, Kane. Take care. Let's put this down and we'll hold it down right over here. Actually, I'll get here first because it's nice and easy. And because this is the undercoat, I'm not too worried about getting all of it. But just want to get enough that if I miss little bits on the brown coat, it's not too big a deal. Or it's not a big deal, I should say. I really need to figure out a better way to paint this. Maybe we'll do this. This is probably how I did the other side. I was trying to avoid doing this side like that because I already painted the bottom, which was a little silly of me. But we're almost done with the outside ring. We're going to get going on to the inside ring real soon. We already got part of the inside ring painted as well because I'm bad at staying in order. I kind of just paint what I see next Not in any kind of a symmetrical way. Alright, that is that outer ring pretty much done. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything big. Let's get this area right around the chain as well. And we'll get the chain too. I do want the chain to be mostly green, or sorry, mostly brown. Ooh, actually, or I could make the chain all green, and it could be like a type of vine chain. That could be cool. I think I'll go with that. We'll get that painted. Let me pull it taut while I paint this part. And then we'll let it dry a little bit and I'll paint another part. A little bit more on the chain. Trying to get as much as I can quickly on this first coat of the chain. It's not necessary that I get everything, since we're coming back and doing more in a couple passes, but the more coverage I get on this first pass, you know, the easier it'll be to, or it'll dry quickly, and I'll be able to come back and get a bit more thoroughly done. All right, so that's mostly done now. We'll get that too. Okay, so now we'll get this inside ring right here. I think it's looking pretty alright so far for just this base coat. Let's get the inside. And I think what I'll do is I'll get the inside and then I'll move to, actually no, I won't do that because that's gonna mess with, I'm gonna have to switch paints for that. Okay, yeah, I'll do the inside and then the under. That's alright, that should work fine. You know what, I had a really wonderful snack the other day. It was, oh god, what was it? It was like a cannoli, but it was cannoli chips, which is like just the fried dough, I guess, baked dough. I don't know how cannolis are made, with the sugar coating on them, and then the cannoli filling separately on the side that you kind of dip it in, and oh, it is, I have to be honest, it is way better than a regular cannoli, because a regular cannoli kind of falls apart as you eat it. You gotta be careful. But these chips was wonderful. Oh. So I highly recommend that if you're able to find anything like that near you, like kind of a deconstructed cannoli, I guess. It's really wonderful. If there was a zombie apocalypse.
They say you'll never be a star, that you started much too late to change your
No, I think you're making a pretty good progress on this trap here. Well, I guess it's been 45 minutes already. Closer to like 35, really, because I got started a little late and then I did some talking before I started painting. But, you know, I think that's alright time. I'm not trying to rush anything, taking my time with it all, you know?
10 years ago, I didn't plant the tree. The future was something that I couldn't see. If I had been a little faster, I'd have a lot more skills I could master. It's hard to say when you've lost the precious time of yesterday. So many
there is just a little bit over on this. Maybe turn it upside down. Push it up like this. Yeah, this is perfect.
I wish I could tell a younger me to forgive yourself for not starting. You would get there eventually.
Now, I do kind of feel like I'm wasting a bit of paint with this method. I think it'll turn out looking a little bit better, but I'm wondering if painting this on after the fact is just a little bit wasteful, you know? I don't know if it's really worth it. So we'll see after this one is finished if we think it is good enough for it to be worth the extra paint we're spending on it. I'm just going to grab a little bit more green paint. Not too much more because I think we're almost done. Yeah, and I think it is coming out pretty well. Getting pretty good coverage, not perfectly even, but I think it's pretty alright for the undercoat. And another thing I've been working on recently is some merch. Now, I don't think I'm ready for merch yet, but I've been playing around with it so that when my community gets a little bit bigger, we'll have a way to do some cool stuff. Okay. I have some cool ideas. I want to do a notebook. I think that'll be nice. And pretty on brand, you know, a notebook for D&D planning stuff or drawing or whatever you want to do with it. You know, all those good things that notebooks are perfect for. I think that would be really nice. But I want to make sure that that has a good design on it before I release anything. And like I said, I still don't have the community size to support merch anyway. But once I do, I'll be ready. And also, it's just fun to mess around with that kind of design stuff. I feel it at least. Especially with my new branding stuff, I have a couple really easy ideas for like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt and stuff like that as well. So I've been playing around with all that stuff for a little bit. I'm hoping that this video that I'm working on with these straps, because I'm making a YouTube video out of making all of these coasters for my friends. I'm hoping that gets a little bit of traction. And then I have another one planned after. I think that one is a little bit better of an idea, a little bit cooler, and might get some good views, hopefully. But we'll see. And you know, if it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I think it's just fun working on these projects. And being able to do that is really cool. Alright, now time for the underside. Now the under I'm kind of speeding through because you know, if you're looking at the underneath it for too long, you're not really using it right. So I'm going to try and go through this as quick as I can. Just make sure I'm not missing anything too big and obvious, like the inside here. I think I'm actually going to grab just a bit more green paint for this. Look at it. Here, you can see it here. I'm sorry, I keep turning it away from you guys and pulling it up above the camera. I need to remember to just keep it on the table. Keep my hands on the table. Let's have another little drink real quick. And let's grab a bit more paint. Some of this back in. Oh, excuse me. Because I don't need quite all of it. a much nicer layer.
I was walking down this path
There, yeah, there we go.
but now I'm glad I have a grip to call my own.
Turn around a little bit. And I'm running out of places to touch this. I'm going to use my fingernail and just kind of hold it steady. And I'll have to just touch that up when I'm done. Alright, and we'll add a bit more back over here where I was touching it. Alright, and then we'll touch up the chain while the bottom is drying. Now, I'm picking this project because I'm trying to get more into these arts and crafts stuff. I think it's really fun, and I don't take too much time to do it usually, but doing it for a video, it kind of gives me a good excuse to take the time and do it right and not rush through anything. And I think that it's a valuable skill to kind of sit back and relax and talk to yourself or stream. Welcome back, Game. Thanks for the lurk. And just kind of let your brain work through stuff, or work through the art or the craft. I think it's all very valuable to learn, to sit back and kind of appreciate the process of it all. And also you get some cool shit at the end of it. Pull this chain out of the way real quick. I know I'm kind of blocking the view of what I'm doing by doing this, but it's the only way I can really get to some of these spots. But okay, there we go. Now I will flip it upside down again. And I'm actually going to just hold it like this, right through the middle. Because I got a little bit more paint on the inside. And actually, you know what? I'm going to need just a tiny bit more paint. Maybe I shouldn't have put that extra bag earlier. Grab a tiny bit more. Oh. And put that cap back on. And this one is not green with me. There we go. And let's pick it up. And I want to be holding it this way. No, I was right the first time. I'm actually going to jam 2 fingers in. So I have a little bit of friction to hold it where I want. And we're not going to talk about the phrasing of that. But I think it's looking... I'm pretty happy with this so far, actually. You know, it's got some texture and some variant of the color a little bit, which I think is kind of a good thing, because, you know, if you look at a stem, it has some texture. It's not a flat, plain object. It's not plastic, you know. But I think that kind of works out for us.
Songs I used to sing play on the radio. The catchy choruses are all I know.
And the last thing is just over here.
I used to write my feelings every day.
On this side, we have just the levers left, kind of that mechanism. And what I'm doing here is I'm just moving the lever, or the lever that usually pulls this up. I'm just pushing this up to move the lever now, so it's kind of working in reverse to make sure it's staying where I want it to be. Now, a slightly smaller brush would probably be a little helpful here, but I don't think it's worth changing out the brush for stuff this small in this very moment, at least. I keep pulling it up too far out of frame.
Sink into
Oh, and another little thing I don't think I mentioned earlier. Now that I'm multi-streaming on Twitch and YouTube, Everon is going to also be multi-streamed. It's going to come to Twitch because, you know, why not? Especially since I'm so close to hitting affiliate. I actually had all the requirements before. I think I had all the requirements done, and then I switched to YouTube because Twitch made some changes that I really wasn't fond of. And I think that's why I'm going to stay at least multi-streaming for now, not picking just Twitch or just YouTube, because I don't really like one company being able to decide one day, like, hey, you aren't going to be able to work with us because of X, Y, or Z, or you can't do this stuff on stream anymore. I get why they're doing it, you know, they gotta set rules and enforce them. Twitch especially has some trouble with that, with all of the rule changes they've been having lately. I need just a bit more heat. You know, they're having some struggles. There. Especially since Twitch is not profitable, you know. Don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. But, you know, this is also something I'm doing for fun, so it doesn't matter too much, you know. I can just kind of relax, and whatever happens, it happens, you know. If I never get more than 3 or 4 viewers at a time, I'll be vibing with those 3 or 4 viewers, you know.
Every now and then it falls back to me, a vision of the past. Tell myself it's a good kind of tragedy, and hope it doesn't last. Let the space around us, galaxies away. We'll be okay. Disappear, the whispers in my ear. Oh, we're coming back again.
Just trying to get the last couple details here. Just a little bit back here as well.
I look out to the broken path ahead, forget and fantasize, welling up like an ocean of regret. I won't open my eyes, let the night surround us, burning through the dark. Look at the stars disappear, the whispers in my ear. Oh, we're coming back again. Disappear, the whispers in my ear.
Just about done with this green coat. These small details really are most time intensive, but if you don't get them right, then the whole thing looks wrong. It's off a little bit. Especially because I'm using this big brush, it's making it even longer. So I can't really get into the nooks and crannies like I should be able to. I think that's good enough for the undercoat at least. I'm trying. I didn't put anything in the center here because I'm trying to keep as much paint out of there till the end, so that it's not jamming up as much. Grab some of this actually. I'm just going to do one last pass on the chain, try and get the rest of that done. And that little bit right there that I missed. Alright, that should be good. And then work on the chain a little bit.
Once before, but there's always more and more and more. Stay up till the sunrise, butterflies in my eyes. Didn't I tell you? Keep on falling behind, chest is feeling so tight. It carved a hole inside and grew. Moonlit walls crumble to pieces.
I'm not really sure how well you guys can see anything I'm doing over here, but I'm just kind of going over all the spaces I can to make sure I'm not missing anything too big on the chain. Inside here. Up real quick.
Sun is getting low, I close my eyes. A perfect day to nap under the animal sky. I'll leave no trace, they'll never
And I'm really
find
mangling
this
this brush trying to do this. But I think that's all set. So I'll drop the brush over here in the water real quick. I got some water behind my webcam over here. I'll let that soak for just a minute. And then I take another sip. Well, it's definitely a little bit more rum than this Coke, but still good. Check. Yeah, that's still the playlist I want it to be. How's the music, by the way? Everyone's still in chat. Is it loud enough? Is it too quiet? Do I need to turn my mic up? Do I need to turn the music up? You know, let me know what you guys think. This paint's definitely a little bit harder to get off the brush than normal paints are. It is acrylic paint, so that's probably why. I also don't know the difference between different types of paints, so I don't know if acrylic is like the regular go-to stuff or if that's like the fancy stuff. I don't know. I just kind of stole it from my brother, and we'll see how it works. So far it's been working pretty well. I'm going to try and just clean off my brush over here a little bit. Let's dump it back in the water so it's a little bit more formed together. That's mostly alright, I think. Still got a little green left in it, but it's not really coming out. Now, for the brown, this is a rust sienna, so I think that's a good base maybe. Let's see if we have something that we can add to that to make it a little bit more what we're looking for, though. Just move my extra paints out of the way. Oh. Let's see if we have anything into here. Oh, this is perfect, actually. We have a burnt umber. So I think I'll use this as a base, the burnt umber, and then mix in just a little bit of the sienna, and that way it'll have a little bit more flavor, but it'll still have that nice earthy brown for the bark. Should be pretty good. And we'll mix it over in this corner here. A little bit more. That should be enough for the brown. That up and we'll put it back, and actually still have all of the paints from Monday's stream as well. I'll leave the green out since we're going to be using that. I'll leave the brown out since we're using that, and then I'm going to try get as much of this off the brush as I can. Rinse it off a little bit. And we're going to work on the plate while this dries. Alright, that came off pretty well. Well, maybe it didn't, and it's just more similar to the natural color of the brush. There we go. And then let's grab a little bit of this red. I think that should be plenty. Oh, it's not too much actually. I put a lot in there. I think the brown should overpower it though. We got more brown as well.
Someday we'll have our last conversation and drink our last cup of coffee. Someday we might be 80
Right.
and think about
We'll get started on this plate, so I'm going to move this back out of the way a tiny bit. I unfortunately don't really have enough space. I kind of crowded my work area. And we're going to see how this turns out. I think that's a really good, nice color for that. Okay. It's not mixed perfectly, but I did that intentionally. I'm trying to have like little streaks of the red in there. Kind of almost like the grain of a wood. If I was a better painter, what I'd do is I'd manually put manually paint a grain in, but I'm not, so I'm not even going to try. I don't want to ruin this, and because I don't really have time to redo it a couple times, because I got a whole bunch of these I gotta do. That's the face of it done. And I'm going to hold it and try and get the bottom too. And then I'm going to place it on this little peg in the middle. And I won't paint that yet. And that way it can dry without getting stuck anywhere.
I won't forget how it feels to be loved.
Now I'm trying to keep like a consistent brush stroke all around. And kind of matching it to the top. It's not perfect, but oh, it's actually not good at all. Hold on, I'm gonna need to change the direction. There we go. And that way it feels a bit more like a solid piece of wood rather than a piece of plastic that I painted. There we go. I think it's turning out pretty good. I'm going to bring this back over here and put this down and nudge that over slightly. And then we're going to get started on the teeth of this, the outside claw part, since that's how the longest to dry. Now, unfortunately, I am no good at 3D modeling, so these are all the same basic paint with different coats of paint, you know? But, you know, I wanted this to be a kind of a manageable first project, and I thought learning 3D modeling was a little bit too much of an ask during my current time with commitments. But I think it's turning out pretty well. I'm hoping that they all like it. I am kind of expecting someone to use it pretty quick. So I don't think this is kind of a gift for all of them. Like, I don't think it's their style, which is fine. You know, I'm doing this more as an opportunity for me to learn how to do this, rather than with them. But I thought it would be nice to give it to someone. It's nice to give these to people, hoping that they enjoy it. So I'm just trying to hang this in a way that the painting is out of the way. Because I'm trying to leave that going. Kind of similar to a vine. You can try your hand in battle, try to prove your worth, but unlike me, when you die, you won't see rebirth. Now my arcane blast leaves you standing there, running blind, you can't see beyond the solar flare. Mister, you can't mess with the soul, sister. I'm a bird of prey at best, you're just a lit dinner. I was born to fly for eternity. Your meager lives wouldn't even have occurred to me. Mortals sing my name in a polyphonic spree. Reach for the sun or burn right in front of you.
Forgetting about someone.
All right. What a match made in heaven. I shall bring the dawn. Treat your body like a temple that I'll pray upon. I'm so divine, I shine on cloud nine. From Genesis to Malachi, I'm the brightest of all time. You stand humble before me. This is faith's reward. See the prophecy beheld on my heavenly sword. No narrow go or need to go. You'll see the glow hovering the speaker at your burden than your funeral. Your breath is down like holy fire to the asphalt. You should have left, but now you're turning into
Now, there were a couple different designs that I could have done, but they all cost a couple bucks, so you know that it added up if I got a different design for each person, plus all the paint and materials I'm using. But I think it's kind of a custom paint job for everyone. I think that would be pretty nice. I'm hoping they enjoy it. You know, it's something whatever. Plus, I got a cute little dragon baby for my character. I got this guy printed out. And he's kind of on a mountain of gold coins, and he's got a little dice holder. He's kind of wrapped around for a D20. So even if they don't like what I'm doing, I have a little gift for myself too. So that's fine. As I'm painting, I think that this is definitely a better way to do the corrosion of metal. You can see parts of it kind of coming through. And I think that works better for corroded metal. I don't know how I like it for this like bark looking, or bark material, but I might leave the inside green, go back and touch that up. And then have the outside kind of be all bark, but no bite. I think that might look good too, now that I'm kind of going through it. Unfortunately, that will mean I mixed too much brown paint over here. And I'm wasting a little bit of that, but I think that's okay.
Eyes closed, I'm slowly falling to the music and the atmosphere. Now and then I feel lights fading softly all over me, and I remember last year when I was alone in my bed with all these thoughts in my head and living silently inside.
I guess this is kind of another reason to paint the whole thing in the undercoat layer first. Besides, when you miss a spot, it still looks pretty good. It lets you kind of see it in a different way. Like it gave me the idea of leaving the inside green. And I think that's going to look a lot better than if I did it in the same kind of style as the one that I made on Monday for our artificer, the one that's supposed to look like copper. Because this one's not supposed to be, pure, like a pure metal the whole way down. It's supposed to be just something somewhat natural. I think it was looking pretty good.
Everything's said and done. I know I'll be okay. I will overcome. I'm hoping, I'm here. I remember last year when I was alone in my bed, unhappy thoughts in my head, and living silently inside. Just keeping all to myself. Wished I could be somewhere else. Back when I could only hide.
Unfortunately, this is kind of an awkward shape to paint, and especially to paint while recording, because I don't think I can really position this in a way that both you guys and I can see what I'm doing. Which is really unfortunate because I want you guys to be able to see. But as you can see, I'm getting the inside of this ring right now, the outer ring. I'm just getting the underside now. I think it's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to end up having to do is do one stream kind of at the end of this where I go back and touch up all of them. Because I think once they dry, they look a little bit different. And as you can see on the bottom, I don't know how well you guys can actually see this, but I got some specks of brown on the bottom, like over here. Then I think I'll just need to cover up. But I think it's looking pretty good. Yeah. I think I will paint the inside of this brown. Because why not? That way I can waste, a little bit less paint. I think that's looking pretty good. Alright. I will need to go back later on that touch-up stream I was talking about with some more green and get kind of inside these mechanisms here. Because I got a little bit of brown on them and touch up the chain a little bit. I think that actually is pretty done for this one. I think that's still a little wet, but what I'll do is pull up my list of who's next. And I just had everyone pick a number between 1 and 6 because there are 6 people in our party total. And I'm just doing them in order of what they, of what they picked. But okay. Sorry, I'm just pulling up that list. Looks like no one picked 3, which means I'm 3. Okay. So, I am going to do this next. Actually, you know what? I'll do that. I'll save that for another day. Because I want to have that be its own thing. And I need to touch up the primer on it, especially on the bottom. It's kind of, it's kind of scraped off. I kind of gooped it on a little bit too thick there, and then it all came off. Sorry, I got a whole bunch of notifications I need to look through really quick. I'll be back in just one moment. Okay. And I'm back. All right. So that looks like it's still a little bit wet. What I'll do actually is I'm gonna grab a tiny bit more paint here. I'm going to look around, see where it might need a little bit more. Or I may have put it on a little too thick, maybe. Scrape some of that off. Oh, you know what is something I started recently is I watched. Oh, that's a big glob. Let's put that over here and spread it out. I watched The Legend of Vox Machina, the Critical Role show. And you know what? It was really good. And the whole time I was watching, I was thinking about what was going on in the actual campaign and whatever was happening on screen. So I was like trying to learn, like, they're trying to look at it as like, how can I use this to improve my DMing skills? Like, how would I describe this, like this scene, to my players? And I was kind of trying to think about that the whole time. And you know, it was just a really entertaining show. And I think I learned a lot from that, but also it was just fun to watch. And I highly recommend it. That's mostly dry, so we'll art on the back of this. I highly recommend it to anyone who is kind of interested in fantasy at all, not just D&D, because there's not a whole lot in the show that's like really D&D. It's they kind of just use their first campaign as a kind of a story generator, so to speak. You know, they told that story in their first campaign, and it was so good that they wanted to share it with more people. And I think that was really cool. Now I'm trying right here to get as much paint off this outside rim while still being, you know, coated. And that way hopefully it won't have as much trouble closing. I'm kind of trying to get as much of the paint off and move with the inside as I can. I think, you know, the inside of this might look a little bit better if I had painted it green on the inside of this little hole, but I don't think that matters too much. I mean, I'm gonna try and keep it, or try and get it painted, but I'm not gonna bother with getting the green back out for it.
Every word I used to sing, every melody I played, all the
And
memories
I'm not gonna worry about getting the inside of this perfect either. If there's a couple missing spots, that's alright. I am, however, gonna put another coat on the bottom here because it's a little thin and there's a couple spots peeking through.
Let's talk some more. Our footprints are fading on the shore. I used to think bonds like ours stayed forever. No matter how far apart, I thought I'd have a piece of every heart. So sky, I sigh in the breeze. Are you still there?
Okay, I think that's better.
When all of the stars were
I'm going to put another coat on the other side of that as well, but I'm going to let the bottom dry for a couple minutes first. I'm going to go back over to this trap, look around, see if there's any more spots I can touch up. Now that this is a little bit more dry, there's a little spot on the bottom I can get. And this is just the inside of that ring. So again, I'm trying to do a very light coat, trying to get as little paint as I need. Okay, that's good. Let's see, the inside of these outer rings need a little bit more love, so try that. Yeah, just a little bit over here.
Stars will realign. Didn't we make a promise we would meet someday? If only for today. Was I the
And you know, I'm just trying to use up as much of this brown paint as I can because I already mixed it. So I can't put it back because it's mixed, but I'm also almost out of it now. You know, I got a pretty good coat all around. Let's see. A little bit right here I can get. There we go.
It's Super Mario Bros. And I'm down to flow, but it's time to meet the crew, so here we go.
Player 2 in the house. Listen, I'm fresher than Fiji. I may have a vacuum, but you can suck on my Ouija.
Oh, am I next? I'm a topic of interest. Sunshine upon the galaxy, the peachiest princess.
How good of all you people. Nice to see you, my friends. Oh, is that Princess Peach? I'm kidnapping again.
Speaking of princess, little hero of time, you can never stack against the killer demon of rhyme.
I think he meant to say your basic manner is crass. And he's got the master sword, so he'll be kicking your ass.
If I see these dwarfs again, I might just cop a bikini. I could be in a bikini and all they think of is Ridley.
Hey, I tell you, Samus, now that Lucas is gone, everybody in the world thinks this kid was the bomb.
If Lady Palutena wants to chat about things, she can tell me why she stuck me with the shittiest wings.
Oh, boo-hoo, getting all in its his. Your life isn't tough. You don't know what hard is.
Whoa, Marth phrasing. That came out pretty wrong. Here, you want to hold my sword? It's pretty heavy and long.
Is it me, or does it sound like they're referring to dongs? Ike, you look quite familiar. Have you met my friend Crom?
Wow, all you guys, there's a thing you should know. I inhale all the time, but only if you really blow.
Cordial delight in
Now,
cutting you down.
here's something I want to say. What if I paint these on the ground, the letters that need the outside team? That way it's kind of all one
About to complain, sucker
mechanism.
What the hell did I get cut from the game?
Nelly, I was epic, a legitimate beast. Ganondorf is now a clone of me that came from the east.
You're too slow. Hey, Sonic's the name. If you're having tear problems, try not being so lame.
Oh, give me a break. You're no better than your peers. Nintendo's been holding Sega's hand for years.
I'm just glad I'm
that was
included,
good
gonna have
already.
a good time. Play on easy setting
If
one
I
until
change my mind, you're
number
off.
9.
The lot of you have made it much further than planned. I guess it's time to take you out. Let me give you a hand.
I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? That's one side done. Let's go onto the other side.
little tiny pieces of our love. We once found it kind of strange.
Sorry, I keep moving it out of frame. I'm back though.
But now I look up at the distant sky and remember all those quiet summer nights. Starlight in your eyes, beautiful and bright. I think of how our worlds must have appeared so close that summer night. If I could try again, we'd fly through the cosmos. Can we sit here for a while? Just for a little bit. This is kind of nice, don't you think? Raindrops, star drops, the clouds won't stop. My umbrella hangs by the door. The skies are blue, the darkest of blue. Now I swear I felt this before. You sent them
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Are you still there? When days are long, I sing a song.
Leave that upside down.
Tiny palm rolls around.
This is finished drying, which means I can put more coat on the top side here.
Always stay in my It's safe inside.
Just a tiny bit more, I think.
In the place we've made just our style. The world's
I think that's pretty
fine.
good.
Let's lose track of time. So please won't you
Now,
stay for a
I
while?
think
There's something.
I'm gonna leave this to dry overnight.
Are you still there? When days are long, I sing a song. A tiny palm rolls around. A memory
To let that soak a little bit. That brush. Okay. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight. Same with this. Put it together tomorrow. See how it fits. And I might get some sandpaper for this. And work on these kind of two mechanisms that fit together. Because I think I did just kind of block the paint on a little bit too much. So I think just going through with some sandpaper really quick. Oh. There we go. Excuse me. Oh. But I'll just go at it with some sandpaper, clean it up a little bit. If it needs a tiny bit more paint, I'll put that on. But for now, I think that is all for these two. I think making, one of these a stream is a pretty good Pretty good speed. Gives me... Oh. Well, I found a little piece of something there. Oh, you know what? It's part of the chain that broke. That's what it is. Okay, we're all set. Whew. But this is stuck to the cardboard a little bit. I'm a little worried about that. Making sure it doesn't break. There we go. Okay, yeah, so there's a little bit of cardboard on the back of this now, which is fine. I can peel it off. But it's not ideal. I think, but as I was saying, sorry, I got a little distracted there. I think this the speed we're going, you know, 1 per stream is pretty good. I want to at least do this every Monday. I think that'll be a good time for me to work on it. Monday nights. That's why I put that in my stream schedule, actually. I kind of went through and I tried to update a lot of my Twitch panels as well. Now that I'm back streaming on here again. So check those out if you want to. But up here, wait, let me do it on this camera. Up here you see I got my latest tipper, which is Thor, my latest YouTube subscriber, and my latest Twitch follower, which I think gives everyone the shout out they deserve for being so cool. We got 3 of these traps left, so that should give us a couple weeks of work to do there. And then we got this little dragon to work on. And I'm excited to work on this guy. I haven't decided what color I want him to be yet. Lore-wise, his color doesn't matter. He supposedly is able to change color whenever I summon him, so I'll just pick a color and paint him that. Not worry about that. But yeah, I'm excited to keep working on these guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm just gonna grab my mouse. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate the support. I should be 1 stream closer to Twitch affiliate. I actually I have the follower and the average viewer requirements. I don't know if the average viewer is going to change over the next couple streams, but I have everything else I need for affiliate, so I just need to do a couple more streams. So we'll see if we can get that done, hopefully this month. Again, thank you guys all for the support. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.